You are now tuned in to Bad Deals Only.
I'm going to be like, welcome to episode who knows what of Bad Deals Only. And here we are. Me that he's doing that. I don't hate it probably as much as you would.
It's not that I hate it, but I'm like, no offense, like,
Yeah,
we could all do the same thing. And really what happens is you end up hurting the marketplace because we all get really big and usually bad. You know, it doesn't get big and better.
Right.
I don't believe the agents get any upside. So now you're asking your agents to refer up, but like, what is their? They have no joint venture share there.
They don't.
You know, you're telling them it's for the greater good of the business, but I really think, just like Coldwell Banker, I don't think this is a prediction. I don't think I'm a Nick Stradamus right now.
But Stradamus, dude.
But
Flash that on the screen, dude.
But you're telling me that Compass and Caldwell, who pay their top agents 95% and give them big retention bonuses, aren't now combining to own the phone call coming into the brokerage to then refer it back out to their top agents at a 10 to 20% cut. Like, I just think that's the writing on the wall. So now we have these big industries who are taking information, owning the Rolodex, and then giving it to agents on the back end and legitimately flipping the commission structure. So I just think all these agents are like, yay, this is great. Like, we have tech and our company's combined. We're so big now, and we were in Punta Cana. Yeah. However, in 5 years, you're not going to have your business.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you. I think this is, in general, what's been going on in real estate.
Probably your sales pitch to real, too.
To a degree. I think this has been going on in real estate for a long time now, maybe 5+, 6+ years, where like a real life example of this recently, similar but different, is I get a call from a past client. Hey, I need to sell my house or sell my parents' house. I think that you should be involved. So I go interview, get the listing. I list the property, right? Like, this is how this inbound lead came in. What I didn't realize, I'm a member of a website called Fast Expert. Okay, it's a great referral website. You basically put in your sales history, and when people are searching on the web for realtors,
or multiple fields.
Realtors, yeah.
Could you do plumbers and like?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's mostly real estate. Okay. So people are like, "Hey, top agent in the area." ChatGPT recommends Fast Expert agents, right?
Got it.
So if you actually end up on that website and you put in like a lead, like you're interested in selling your house, they will sell you that lead. Okay. 42% referral, 35.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. 30% referral sometimes. Zillow's doing the same thing, by the way.
I knew they were doing it.
All these websites, Upnest, homes.com, realtor.com, they're all just doing this and selling you back your own client at a cut. And so whatever, like what I didn't realize is 2.5 years ago, somebody was further down in the chain of the family was probably curious what the house was worth and put in a Fast Expert request.
How is that traced back to like the phone call they had with you and it's listed?
So next thing you know, it's in MLS under me. Fast Expert monitors the MLS and they're like, hey, we sent you that lead. You owe us a 40% referral on this deal.
But again, like, how do they get that? They're like,
so when you sign up as a realtor, you basically agree to the terms and conditions that says, if we send you this lead, you're going to pay us a referral on the business.
But didn't the person call you out of the blue, in your opinion?
Yeah. So I didn't even realize it because it was an older lead in my database.
Yeah.
It wasn't the actual seller. It was like, your sister-in-law was I wonder what Nick's house is worth. And they throw it in on, Zillow.com. And so I was arguing with Fast Expert until like the day of closing. I go, listen, here's my listing contract.
Well, that's substantial too. It's not like it's like,
just take a haircut, get out of here.
Yeah.
That happens a lot in this business, and I think you're 100% right. That's why I stopped posting my reviews on Zillow. I only use Google My Business because I care more about that than I do Zillow. Even though Zillow is going to put you at the front and center of a lot of these portfolios, but
we don't know when they become a market participant. Now all of a sudden you're done.
Yeah, well, I do think you're spot on. So now I'm a realtor. Let's say I move to Compass tomorrow. What's Compass from stopping to saying, oh, your clients, they're already in my database because I had their data. And so, that's going to be an extra 25% off the top.
Anything.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong. I think it'll be a slow
And now,
burn.
let's be honest. When people are like, "Well, Nick, like, how to be like?" Yes, I think probably 50% of your business, maybe for you even higher, is like you have in yourself when you have actual relationships with people. You've done 3 deals with them. That's different, right? And as long as you keep growing and touching base with them, they're not going anywhere. But for like the new person to start out, like we always talk about, okay, the new attorney. Who's getting in real estate right now? Like, is there a new attorney? Yeah, there's a few firms that are going after younger attorneys and trying to teach them. But you couldn't go and be like, my parents give me $100,000. I'm going to go hang my shingle here. I'm going to go become a real estate attorney tomorrow. Because, like, the compliance, the getting on banks lists,
it's hard.
Trying to be expeditious with your communication and documentation, then getting out to the brokers and now selling yourself as like, hey, how long have you been practicing? 6 months. Like no one's referring you. It's very difficult. So all these industries, like when the next generation comes in, I think it's going to look much different.
Yeah, I agree. I do think there's going to be a lot of big shift to big companies, but I also think that, to your point, having a big organization that doesn't drop in standards is very difficult. When the business becomes such a machine, like it's like, how do you make sure that it's still top notch? Like I'm sure you can resonate with that. Like,
of course,
that's the struggle.
So like, I want everyone to make money and do well, but I'm just like, wow, when you dip your hand into every cookie jar, like you're eventually going to get caught.
Yeah. So it's funny. So Real has title and mortgage.
Sure.
Not in Massachusetts yet, but it's in most of the country. And so, like, because I thought it was, listen, Sean, don't worry. I'm not opening. I'm not becoming an MLO. I'm not interested. But, I was curious because if they're going to roll out in Massachusetts and I have to pass a test and I can just even pop somebody a referral and I'm going to make an extra 150 bips on a deal.
Sure.
Like, I mean, I would be a fool to not consider it.
1,000,000%. And I think when it comes down to, it's like, the best referrers I've ever had, or even other attorneys who are like, hey, I sent that person, can I get a referral? Like it's a lot different when in our fields, like if I sent you a listing and you put it up, it was on, Winthrop Heights or whatever, like the best part is, and you're like, this house was money. And you did your thing, you put in 10 hours and you made 50 grand. Like, yeah, like you should probably be like, hey, thank you so much. Like that was a layup. Here's whatever. But the deals that like you actually work on, it's 120 days. It's like you did everything. Like you did all the work on this.
Yeah.
Like
somebody referred me to another probate attorney. I don't know how it happened. It was probably Brendan. And so I ended up meeting with the attorney and the seller, and basically, for whatever reason, this house was in, what is it called when like conservatorship?
Yep.
Right. So basically, the attorney was now in charge of this house.
Correct. Yes.
On behalf of the family who still lived in the house. Strangest thing in the world.
Yeah, those are tough.
But like that was how the trust was drafted, because there was a special needs child and everything had to be fair.
That's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and the house was like a wreck. And so the attorney knew like there was going to have to be some work done at this property in effort to get it to, be a fiduciary and sell it high for the highest and best. What I didn't realize is like he either, I don't know if it's because he's an attorney, it's the rules of the trust, or because he was a conservator. I don't understand it. I'm sure you could add some commentary. Like could not spend $1 on the property. Like they couldn't do it. He couldn't advise it. I don't know if they didn't have the money.
Interesting.
But he basically said like even if let's say they had 10 grand in the bank, it sounded to me like he was not allowed to spend that money to prep the house for sale. And so he had, like, the other attorney literally told me it was actually awesome working with you, because I went in, I had landscapers professionally landscape the property. The grass was 4 feet tall. Let's make it look like people actually live here. Let's junk out the house because these people have moved. Like, let's put it in its best light.
He might have been viewing it as like, I'm not an expert on property value. If I spend money and I don't get that back, I could be just, again, throwing money out the window or something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he would have had to get like 3 realtors / appraisers to give like, hey, if I spend
here's
this,
the scope.
If I spend this, will it have the
that makes sense.
An equal or more of a return?
Yeah,
he might have been over precautionary.
Yeah. Well, and I think it was one of those deals where like you want to run it by the book.
Sure.
Because there was a lot of push and pull.
Yeah, if anyone pulled the covers off this one,
Yeah, you just, not even a question about how I handled it, So but yeah, so I ended up spending like $8 to $9 grand like getting this house ready for the market, and then we sold it at the price range I said we could in multiple offers.
And how does that work? So you're signing an agreement that's like, hey, I'm going to spend this. You're going to repay me at closing.
Yes. It's funny.
And every time you spend, they're like signing off on it or giving approval.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. I do this a lot. I've gotten better at it, and you could probably give me some free legal advice here. So now what I do is I have everybody sign a 1-page addendum. And it basically is between my entity, SJW Real Estate Inc., which is Reference Real Estate, is going to provide a bunch of services in preparation to list your property, limited but not including to, general contracting services, landscaping, professional junk removal, professional cleaning. You're going to let us do all these things. You release us of any liability, and and it also has a space that basically says like, we'll bill you at closing. We'll put quotes in front of you. We'll keep you updated as far as what it's cost. You do agree and consent to pay this and have it added to the settlement statement.
But like if you're spending $100,000, right? Like,
well,
let's be egregious.
The most egregious one was Dale. We just closed it. I don't know if you looked at that reimbursement.
Was that like 22 or something?
26 for siding. And I was like, I don't need to wash that money. Like our vendor was fantastic. Just took that on like a net 90. It was like, yeah, wow. I gotcha. And I was like, don't.
That happened quickly too. I think he did it. Really fast.
Yeah. I mean, that house was on the market. It didn't sell. The siding was the house is falling apart. So we re-insulated, resided. So $26,000 for that. I had to do a bunch of plumbing repairs on behalf of the seller. Seller was out of state. Like I'm just trying to help them out, and a bunch of junk removal and stuff. So I had like 86, but ultimately
$86,000?
No, 86, only 8,600.
Okay, yeah.
But on top of the 26, like at the end of the day, the vendor did that for me, not for the seller.
Of course, yeah.
And so like
and they would have had to go through multiple processes with interviewing people and timing, and like it would have never been done.
So
right.
that one was almost, it was $35,000. I think that's kind of high. I've done a bunch of like 10 to 20s.
So Compass has one. It's like
concierge.
Yeah, something like. But I've seen them. People
this
like
is Seth concierge.
But people go like, can I like add a bathroom? Like they do like they kind of because it's actually your money. I've seen brokers are kind of like, let's see if we can get this approved because they will get us an extra $200,000 or whatever. Like which is a good thing, I guess. But it's not when it's not your money. You're kind of like, yeah, go. Well, and they put a mortgage on the property.
Yeah, we gotta be a fiduciary, right? So like, I don't know if that's the best thing they should do. I wish I actually should change mine to say if this is paid, you pay allow a mortgage. I'll send you the contract.
Sure.
ChatGPT wrote it. It's not that good.
I'm sure it's great.
I probably could have asked somebody I know, but so it just says you're going to release the liability and you promise to pay. We can add a contractor's lien if not.
Yeah, like if I was reviewing it, I'm not sure what it says, but it should say like release the liability unless like gross negligence or something like that. Like
I'll put it in front of you. It's bad. And I do that now. Why? Because someone fucked me. Like we did someone's roof over, just a piece of it. We fixed a bunch of interior issues. We basically spent $8,000 or $9,000 on this house. The deal fell apart once it was pending. They were a little unreasonable on pricing, and they're like, "Hey, let's pull it off the market, go back on in the spring." Stayed in touch with them. 2.5 years later, was talking to them recently about selling the house. Met with them in the fall for another listing opportunity, and they said, "Hey, we're going to sell it in the spring." That makes sense. This is like, pretty recently. And then one of my favorite things to do on a rhythmic cycle, I have a calendar appointment, at least monthly. I go in and like a complete, I was going to say a complete loser, more like a market expert. I'm going to try and reframe it.
I like that.
I read every deed in Winthrop. Just read them all. Like, it's just not a lot of transfers.
Like recently recorded?
Yeah, for the last month.
Oh, okay.
It's not Boston.
But you're not going back to like 1887.
No, that would be. I'd still be going. Yeah. So I just pull up the last 30, 45 days.
Bought this whole block. This is crazy.
And I just click on them, read them. I see if I recognize any of the names. Were they any of my clients?
I like that too. It's like who's they use for brokers, for attorneys. Is go off market. Like it's nice.
And there is a fair amount of off market trades.
Sure.
And sure as shit, I saw that address trade, and I was like, these MFers. And so now
she didn't have a listing contract with them either.
No, it had expired. This is years ago. I did all this work.
Got it. Okay.
And we were just working on the handshake deal that like they were.
Dude, I love a handshake deal, so I don't blame you because I think it's like that's what makes us good people, right? It's like I want to work with them because they're willing to do the handshake and perform on it.
Yeah.
In the small things, like I'll call you at this time, I'll get the contract done at this time, all those things.
Yep. So they hung me out to dry, and you'll be happy to know that I saw it closed. And so I called them. I said, "Hey guys, hope you're well. Saw that you sold the property. I just wanted to let you know the best way to cut me that check for all the repairs I did to your old house is you can mail it to 61 Boardman Street and make it out to Reference Real Estate. Have a great day." They didn't send it.
Did they pick up? Did they do anything?
I left him a couple voicemails. Just
That's
Gonzo
scumbag.
So
mentality.
I started doing a 1-pager to protect myself, I suppose.
That's a tough one.
Yeah. So I don't know how we got on this topic.
I'm getting some deals rolling in, but definitely a
Oh my gosh, just completely pivoted on me.
definitely a little slower, like we predicted.
Yeah.
Post snowstorm,
Yeah, the snow killed it.
the skiing, we got the Super Bowl. Love you, Pats. I'll see you in Santa Clara. However,
fucking guy.
not great for the market.
Yeah.
You know, like people like this weekend, hey, I got to get my wings in. I got to get my dips going. I got to, make sure I got my lucky jersey all cleaned and ready to go. Like, definitely closings this week and next week have slowed down a little bit. But action, people coming in, but I feel like that snowstorm slowed it down.
It completely slowed it down. Well, you know what it did? It stopped us in our tracks of listing property.
Oh,
Right. So
well, that was what we talked about right away. Like, snow does not look good.
yeah, it looks bad. I mean, it's not cleaned up like anywhere.
Whatever lovely soul made the 18-inch walkway to get from the sidewalk into your door. Thank you very much. Because I'm like, how are we doing this?
This guy.
How are we doing this?
No, we had to have 2 different snow companies come, and I had them plow this entire area all the way up. They made parking spots in the city land up there in that triangle, so we're parking up there like it's our own parking lot.
The last podcast, I legitimately
died.
No, I was parked in the middle of a crosswalk next to a fire hydrant. I had like 37 violations.
So we plowed all of this, and then of course some person literally put a space saver in it afterward. So I just want to talk about that again. And I should have killed him in the street.
That's something like a juror of your peers from East Boston are like, yeah, that sounds reasonable.
I plowed that. I plowed this. This is mine now. I own this land.
But also, like, if this guy reproduces this moron, like, this is not going to be good for multiple generations.
But we had a ton of stuff to list that week, and like rescheduling photo appointments. Like, is snow cleanup good? Like, what's going on with the tenants? Like, are the houses still clean? Like, there's just a lot. So we're finally now listing stuff today that we were ready to list probably 3 weeks ago, pre-storm.
Got it.
Held off listing because of the storm. Like, everyone was getting their milk for their milk and bread sandwiches.
Hilarious every time they say
it kind of screwed us a little bit. So I think I'd have to chart like the inventory new to the market, but my hypothesis is you'll see a big spike this week and even bigger next week, because now it's like, and I asked my sellers this question, hey, do you want me to put it on today, or do you want to wait till after the Super Bowl? Like, whatever you want to do. I don't care. Like, if you live in that home and you're having, like, you don't want to open house like 4 hours before. Sure. Fuck, what are we doing? So, so we'll see whether it goes this week or next week.
I'm very new. I know you kind of are too, to like school vacation, right? It hasn't been my world forever. So like, people take it very seriously.
Are you going away for school vacation?
No,
also?
No.
Because you've been to too many nice places.
Well, I'm an anti-school vacation traveler. So when my kids get a little older, I think
overrated.
I think it's
traveling
overrated.
during school vacation.
I think I'm going to be the guy that leaves Thursday night, the Thursday before vacation, and then come home on like Tuesday or Wednesday.
We are leaving Thursday, the 12th, and coming back
next Thursday.
Yeah, that's why we're doing this podcast early.
Love it. Yeah, no, yeah. I think that's smart, because I'm just like, wait a second, we're all going to be in an airport Saturday morning, and we're all going to be in another airport the next Saturday morning, all doing the same thing.
No thanks.
I love paying for premium service. I don't like paying more for the thing a month ago or even a week ago I could have got for half the price. That's a chat my ass thing.
The flights just to Tampa, Florida.
I just did this. It was horrendous.
What was your flight?
Price or timing?
Price. Leave out the first class details, will you?
I left. Did first class on the way home, but there wasn't 5 seats in first class. So on the way down, it was $888 a person in regular.
That's not acceptable.
In regular class, and then it was $1,800 on the way home a person in first class.
Do you think it was like that because of that game?
There was a lot of Boston people down there, a lot.
Which we have to talk about.
But I just think it was. I think people like go to Tampa. I didn't realize Tampa beaches are great and stuff, but like Tampa, you get to a lot of Florida. Through there.
Yeah, it's
like,
a hub.
like it's a hub that I did not know about.
Yeah, you can really jump off from anywhere there. It's for our family to go down. It's $3,600 to fly, and that's on the cheaper side. We've taken that. I'm sure we've already talked about this. We've taken that trip for like $700 before. Yeah. So we're gonna break the rules and put my almost 3-year-old on my lap just to save a couple hundred bones. Something Nick Nardone would never do.
Well, no, I am a habitual buy the seat next to me guy.
Oh my God, this guy's buying extra seats on planes.
Well, I mean, if we
just for the lap of luxury, dude, what's it like?
It's not the lap of luxury. If you've been in an airport for 10 minutes, it's a scary place. Like, I think I might want to be in Rikers sometimes instead of, Terminal C at Logan Airport. Like,
it's a tough terminal.
It looks like that bar scene from Star Wars. Like, who is coming through this place? Like, it's
Mos Eisley?
How come they don't have hospitals at airports if everyone has an ailment? Like, every single person has something going on. I ran into 3 people in the TSA pre-check line with small dogs. In carrier things.
Everyone flies with their emotional support animal.
It is insane, like what goes on in an airport. We need more regulation. Private jet should just be like the honestly the thing.
When's the Touchstone PJ gonna hit the books?
We don't fly enough for work, but that
not
would
even
be
for
not even
for Amalfi Jets. This is Colin.
That would be. I do love that guy. Talk about emotionless. That guy, you could tell him I need an Amalfi Jet to get a kidney somewhere, and he just give you a flat quote for that.
$28,000. Yeah. All right. What else is on the docket today? So, I feel like we weren't done just talking shit about deals, and I really want to get back to the genesis of why we were talking about getting billed back at closing and what's the amount we ever did and why were we talking about that, and I just simply can't remember.
Sure. So I mean, like I think that ultimately, it was what brokers have for options.
Probate.
What was it?
We were talking about probate.
Yes, fixing property. Are you getting paid for that? And then I said you have a contract when you're fixing properties for probate.
Nailed it.
But
I guess now that's answered.
We're there. We're there.
We you should look at that contract. Yeah, because
I can look at it. I mean, luckily for you, I think you're involved in a lot of things and people see the outcome and it's a positive outcome a majority of the time. Most people don't want to pay when they think it was like too much or too. Like I just had a dispute with a guy who was a past client of another attorney in my firm who wanted to remove his land from registered land, so land court subsection of the registry, into the recorded so he could do a subdivision and sell all the lots. So they just changed the law. Maura Healey, somewhat of a good thing, I guess.
The merger?
There used to be specific properties that could be removed. All others were exempt. Now she made it where it's a much more broad approach and basically all properties could be removed. So
I want to talk more about this, by the way.
So they got a influx. So I did it fairly quickly, not as quick as I would like, but fairly quickly, quicker than most. But he had just bought the property, so you have to get a certified title that, as you know, like you pay off a mortgage, you have to get a document called the discharge. That wasn't in yet, so we gave that, and then it got in during the process. We had to amend things. It was messy because he had bought so quickly and then removing. Normally, people, hey, I own this for a long time. I want to remove it because I want to condo it or do something else.
Yeah.
Right? So seemingly happy, deal gets done. Everyone says like the thanks. Send an email 30 days later with an invoice. A month after that, hey, did you get the invoice? Silence. And then he sold the property 2 weeks ago and made under $600, like $550,000.
Didn't pay?
Didn't pay. Put a lien on the property.
You did?
Now all of a sudden we're communicating. But he's like, well, it took longer than
So it hasn't traded yet.
No, it did, but I still was able to get an injunction. So
We're gonna have to talk about that.
sure. So he was like, well, it took longer than expected, and I thought it was gonna be a little bit cheaper. And
All bad reasons.
I felt like and I said, well,
When were you gonna voice that to my?
I said, well, you said that after you sold the property. I go, during this time, you could have fired me at any point. I would have given you every document
That's
for
not
free.
how it works.
I would have done it all. I go, you waited because you knew I was the right one for the job to get this done for it to happen. You were extremely pumped. You did everything you needed to do. And then you sold it, and you refused to answer emails. You went with another law firm to sell the property.
Yeah, shady. Intentional.
You did this completely intentional. And you're an LLC. So now it's business to business 93A.
Can't even represent. Yeah.
Now you're deceptive. So now we have triple damages and attorney fees. Do we want to go down that road, or you just want to be the honest person? I am a lawyer. I write contracts. I wish we could throw them out the window and just
be real.
Well, let's go the police route. Let's all wear body cams and just film our conversations and go back to it. Be like, well, you actually didn't say that. Let's go to the footage. Because Axon seems to be do really well when someone's like...
I'd wear a body cam.
When someone's like, yeah, this cop just punched me in the face. I didn't do anything wrong. And then, let's roll the tape, Phil. Yeah. And like you're kicking and spitting in the guy's face. Like, oh, well, maybe that did happen a different way. So I'm a total fan of, like, let's just be transparent. Like, tape my phone calls, say what you got to say. Like, yeah, like, I might use...
Honesty is the best policy, they say.
But hey, I get it. Like, I might use the great vocabulary we have here in the English language to say may instead of will or stuff like that to get a point across. But that's something that's nuance and actions, and we can talk about it in detail. But if you ask someone to do something, they do it, and then you don't want to pay them, and you never voiced it, like your story or my story is like, no, you're just a scumbag.
Yeah, it's intentional. All right, so I have a couple of questions.
Sure.
Talk to me about this injunction thing that you just mentioned. So, because part of what I was going to bring up earlier with my contract is like how do I either get people to pre-consent to like a contractor's type lien?
Yeah. So this was a little bit different because we had submitted, the court approved it prior to the sale.
So you watched it. So you got notified.
Correct. And
then you were like, objection.
And the sheriff served it prior to the sale, but independent of the attorney knowing. So it kind of happened. It was like a bang thing.
So you caught onto it.
No, we were just like, he's not getting back to us, and it went under agreement. Something's happening here.
Oh, so it was on the market.
Yes.
And so you were watching it. You goes pending. A week goes by. You're not in the PNS. You know it's deceptive.
Something's happening. Yes.
Yeah. And so at this point, that's when you you do some recon.
Correct. Exactly.
And find out. So you were able to, prior to closing, add your lien.
Yes. But it actually closed, and then the lien wasn't fully on record, but it was approved by the court and served on him, like legitimately the same. Like it doesn't get crazier. It was like noon and 2:00 type scenario.
Really?
Like
that's,
crazy.
That's impressive. And that's why you do a title search quickly the day of closing, they say.
We do a rundown.
A rundown.
Yes. So you look back. We do a title search. Say the title search ended on February 1st. We're closing on February 20th. We do one from the 1st to the 20th to make sure. So
you just check the registry of deeds.
One of my bad deals on my phone. Nick Nardone doing a property purchase in Osterville down at the Barnesville Registry of Deeds. So the Barnesville Registry of Deeds is this little complex right off of beautiful Main Street. Lovely coffee shop right across the street if you ever caught down there. Close to the highway too. Great registry. Walk in, they have a probate area, so still got to do a little security check for the normal people. Us lawyers get to show our crappy bar cards and walk down, and you sit at these little tables that are right at the entryway. So I'm sitting down, talking to my clients, everything's going great, and this tall, very distinguished gentleman in a pinstripe suit comes in, and he just walks past me, and then turns around and he goes, "You wouldn't happen to be attorney Nick Nardone, would you?" And I go, "Yes, I am." And he goes, "Hey, the wife who the guy selling his property, we're going to go toss a lien on the property. Just wanted to let you know you might want to stop this closing." I was like, well, guys, that was fun for the last 45 minutes. We will not be buying this property today.
Wow.
And we ended up the guy did a nefarious thing. Like, he was trying to cut out of the divorce decree, and because it happened in Connecticut, and he owned this place in Massachusetts, and it wasn't on record up here. Something was wrong, but they preserved their rights, ended up paying her a sum of money, and the house sold a week later. But stuff does happen, at the last minute.
Wow, that's super interesting. So in your instance, because you caught it, because you watched it, you were able to do that. And is there any way to recoup? Well, what's the legal way to recoup funds in the instance that I told you? You have to take them to small claims or
correct. Yes. So
depending on the amount.
The way I describe it, like, you know, when you sign loan documents, you're signing a promissory note and a mortgage. Like those, like the two documents. A promissory note is a contract. That's like the same thing you sign when you take out a student loan, when you take out a credit card. The difference between when you're doing it when you buy a house is, say, there's a security instrument called a mortgage that attaches to something, a property.
Right.
So you have the ability to attach the property, put a mechanics lien on, like things that would stop and hurt the chain of title there.
Sure.
But if you don't have that, yes, you just have a contract. So you go up the hill to Suffolk Superior and you go and you plead your case. And most of the credit attorneys, you know, they work for all the big credit card companies and they have a stack of cases. And they just go, yeah, Williams, Nardone, they call you all up there and they read down, did we give you a credit card and you took out $20,000 and you haven't paid us? And like most of the time, the judge is like, "What was the interest rate? 18 sounds a little high. Can we cut that down to 12?" Like, and you kind of negotiate. But in your scenario, it'd be like, "Yeah, like you had unjust enrichment. You got something for free."
Yeah. What if there's no contract? What if it was just a listing contract?
So
the reason I do this new contract now,
so there's no, so only some things have to be real estate contracts have to be in writing.
which I have that,
But
the
there,
old
but there
real estate
are
contract.
quasi contracts. So what's a quasi contract is we acted like we had a contract.
Yeah.
I did something based on the fact that you never told me not to. Like I was at your property doing work.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Had guys on their roof.
Yeah, I'm not. You know, Santa's little Christmas elves, like just helping you out here. You know, like you would assume, and we had this conversation because people are like, we never had a talk, and it's like, well, were you home when someone was on the roof and you saw the new roof and then you sold it based on the roof? And then usually what you do, you know, if this was a bigger case, you would go to the buyer and be like, hey, did they tell you there was a new roof on the house? Did they tell you about this and this and this?
Yeah.
You actually got more money. So like even the job that I did, that contract I'm telling you about in the removal, he got the only way he could get the money he got is because of the job I did.
Right.
There's zero way he could get a subdivision plan unless it was in recorded land. So like these are very like straightforward breaches.
Probably not. Probably worth fight. You think it's worth fighting?
For you?
Yeah.
How much money was it?
$8,000.
Oh, really what you want to do, and I hate when people say I'm doing this out of principle. And my classic line is,
Do it out of
you're not
principle.
rich enough to do it out of principle.
Right.
Principle is for people with a ton of money. Like
Right.
would you take $10,000 and just burn it? For you, $8,000 could get you into small claims. You could get a default judgment and kind of go down this road. The best thing for you would be to go and talk to a creditor and be like, hey, I'll give you 25% or 50%. Right now you have zero.
Yeah.
If someone handed you $4,000 in 120 days, you'd be like,
Pretty
that's
happy,
better.
Yeah.
So like you should partner up with someone who will go and fight for you and just make it a little difficult for them. Because obviously
But other than an old contract and a story, you think the creditor's gonna take that?
not having anything in writing, it's something. You know, it's definitely something to be like, let's see what they say. Because a lot of times, a strongly worded letter that gives a legal position with backing, and they know they're wrong, they'll call you up. Let's talk settlement.
Yeah. Interesting.
Because they didn't reach out to you at all, correct?
No, I was like under the impression that
They didn't respond to you at all.
No, I was under the impression, I texted, email, called, left voicemail. And I was under the impression we were going to be listing their house again. And
But if you have some texts, those are things too. Like
all right, so that's interesting. Mechanics lien, if you have the right appropriate contract disclosing what we're talking about, pretty easy to just attach.
Those are pretty easy. Those expire, and you have to renew them.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I'd really only be in any of these scenarios. This is now Seth's free legal clinic. We did all of this work, and then let's say, like Dale is a great example. Went on record yesterday. We're all good. See you later. Congrats. But let's say that doesn't close. Well, now I'm on the hook for $26,000 with my vendor, and the seller owes me a bunch of money. And they just say,
like there you should have a promissory note of like 6 months or something, where it's like, hey, you have to go get me this money in 6 months.
Yeah.
Like we know we're gonna sell it.
or allow me to record it on.
Yeah, but do you want a non-interest loan for? Say they just like, yeah, we're living here for another 10 years.
Well, what if there's an option where I can record it and you give me interest?
Yeah, I mean that would be in the promissory note. So it'd be a free interest only or no interest loan for 6 months. After 6 months, it's 10%. And then after a year, you owe it. It's a balloon payment at the end, regardless.
Yeah.
So then you could hold them in default there.
Yeah. Interesting. I got to make sure I'm not in this position. But
Well, the toughest part is like you want to be helpful and you know it will help everyone. Like,
I'm not doing it for fun.
Yeah, and it's not like you're like, oh, this is my business of making money off repairing houses. Like this is just to sell the house.
Yeah. Oh, your roof leaks and you're going to sell your house? Well, instead of telling everyone the roof leaks when it's fucking raining in your living room, maybe like I can just have my roofer look at it. Oh, it's $4,800 and now we have to patch and paint the ceiling and maybe now clean up the mess we made. Yeah, it's going to be like $7,800. Yeah.
But
let's do that.
But
I guarantee you.
Sell,
yeah, but now people are going to come in and like write you an offer instead and be like, oh, geez, this is a shithole.
Sure.
You know, and I mean, the value of fixing that, you know, the dollars and cents of it, $8,000, call it. I think that gets you 30, 40, 50 in return, because now if you just walk into that house and it's freaking raining on your head in the dining room, like the reality is not a lot of people are buying that house. And by the way, it might not even qualify for some regular types of loans.
And the other part is too, like your other option, like a home equity line or something, like you're paying some closing costs, some interest, like you're basically giving them an interest free, like saving them money on top of it, plus making them more money in the sale. Like it's a lot of goodwill by you too.
Yeah. I charge people a lot of money when I do it. Like my commission fee's higher.
Oh, okay. But still, it's a commission fee based off you selling the property. It's not
correct.
Like they're cutting the check day one or something.
Yeah. All right. I had another question regarding that. It was regarding the discharges. So the discharge is, basically says things are paid off in full, right?
Yeah. Satisfactory of terms.
Why does that take so long? And why do they get lost so much?
So, couple things. One, they have institutional lenders 30 days to record it, or 30 days to issue it, right?
Isn't that long?
No, because you have to make sure like you got the right money too, and it goes through the right process. And you Bank of America, and you have 1 million loans. Like you just want to make sure, hey, like this is a big deal, right? Like it needs to be right. Then we have a couple things that happen. So we have missing assignments. So you have Bank A is who you took the loan out with. You took the loan out with Bank of America. It then got sold to Citizens. Citizens gave you a payoff. You've been paying Citizens for 10 years. They gave you a discharge. Well, we need something that says the loan was sold to Citizens. So that's a missing assignment. Then you have missing discharges because the small print, they send it to you. They'll send it right to the house. And you go, oh, sweet, I got this document. And it'll say somewhere, like, you're going to record this, and you throw it away. Or you put it somewhere. Or they send it to the attorney. And the attorney goes, oh, this must be a copy of the discharge. And throw it away. Wow. If they prove that they issued it within time, the confirmatory one, they're like, get in line, like we met our federal obligation.
Oh my God.
You want a second one? Oh yeah, that's on our time.
So
that's what like the title insurance comes into play.
So who's recording it then? Like Nick at
so
Touchstone?
What should happen is it should either get sent to the settlement agent, so to Touchstone, the buyer's attorney, and we record it. But most often, like now these banks know what they're doing, they should send it right to the registry.
No doubt.
But occasionally that is either signed by the wrong person, has the wrong address, has the wrong reference. It like
indexed wrong.
We have 1,000,000%. So I was going to bring up like Southie, right? Like East 7th. You could have E7TH. You could have E7th written out, East written out with a 7. So like if they put that in wrong and it doesn't come on the chain of title, because what they're supposed to do is like also reference it with your name. So like it then falls in the chain. So you would do a grantor grantee index search. So it's a reverse search to check on those things. Fun stuff.
People, I'm tracking with you though, and I'm like, I want you to tell me more. poor producer Nick's about to blow his brains out in the corner. He's like, this is the worst podcast we've ever done.
Like, that's like why good examiners, like you can find anything, because like you just go down this rabbit hole and it's like, but it's got to be here somewhere. But that's what happens with discharges.
Yeah. That's dumb. So literally,
now they do have MERS. You'll hear and see. That's a federal like database of how they can track loans and discharges on the back end. So you have a MERS number that never leaves your loan. So if I buy MERS number 12345, that's always trackable. So the discharge says MERS 12345. So you don't need the assignment. So it's like they're getting smarter, but we're not there yet.
What a pain in the ass. I've had so many
it's annoying,
so many issues.
So that's another thing too. Like before you list, like a title search is $250. Why not get one?
We talked about this, didn't we? About pre-running the title search and then trying to sell the title work to the buyer.
Do you know how many listing agents? And I love you all, but you'll come to me and go, "Hey, can you grab the condo docs?" And I go, "Didn't you sign an offer yesterday? Like you didn't like you don't have those. You don't have the budget. You don't have any meeting minutes. You don't know about the assessment next month. Like what happened between
Yeah.
signing this listing contract and getting under agreement?
Well, you know what? For some reason, people don't understand that these are recorded public documents.
It's
So like,
crazy.
oh, I'm still waiting on the condo docs. Like, dude, just freaking look it up. Riddle me this though. So
Sure.
it's very easy to find the master deed, like super easy.
Sure.
You pull any unit deed. This
It
is
should.
realtor hack
It
101.
will reference the master.
You're
deed, correct.
selling a freaking condo. All you gotta do. Pull the deed for the actual property you're selling. Probably you got to do this anyway. Make sure you're
don't.
actually working with the seller
Does.
of the property.
Seth, I'm telling you
number one.
that doesn't happen. I
No.
love you starting there. That doesn't happen.
Number two, like I mean, I always check like yeah, this looks pretty legit. And then like Dale's an interesting one. I never met her.
Okay.
She lives out of state. I could have just been scammed. But double checked, talked to both sellers. We got keys delivered to us.
Yeah.
Like, okay, they gave us the correct tenant information.
Lined up, yeah.
I think this one tracks, so we move along. Eventually it was like, hey, send me your ID. No, not necessary. But so yeah, you're selling a condo, pull the unit deed, selling anything, pull the deed and make sure you're actually dealing with the sale of the property. Number one, any unit deed from any condo is going to reference the master deed. You can just very easily do a book page search and pull up the master deed. What can't you find? Because it's sitting in the rabbit hole of the freaking registry, like the registry. Why isn't it on blockchain? I don't know. Completely ridiculous. We can debate this another time. And then I have to go into this unindexed rabbit hole, try and guess the book or the page number. I have to count how many. You're going to tell me I'm an idiot. To count how many pages the master deed
Go to
was.
the last page of the master deed.
That's what I do.
And then put in the trust afterwards.
Yeah.
The other thing you can look for is.
But why can't I just look it up normal?
Because it's technically a trust. It's not in the deed. So now if we did the 123 Main Street condominium trust, that is not the name. I mean, condominium. The trust is actually it's a separate entity. So they don't put both in the same thing. They do 123 condominium trust or association.
But it's never affixed to the property.
Usually not. But if you look down in Suffolk, you'll see like usually the trust will be in there. The page after the master
It's
deed
the trust.
and newer ones is the trust. Also, if you look at 60s would be certificate of condo expenses, that references the trust because that's trust. So you click in it just like the master deed, you'll see the trust reference.
Hack. Realtor hack. So old recorded 60s.
Has the trust reference.
Get out. Yeah. I've always just been playing the shoots and ladders approach.
Hey, I do that too. But no,
Yeah.
the 60 always has the trust reference.
But it's funny when someone's like, "Yeah, I don't have the docs." I'm like, "Hold on, like I could pull it up."
all
Thanks.
the time.
Yeah, and it is funny how little research is done on condos because like you got to know all those finances or that thing can't sell.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
and I go, hey, can you? And people go, Nick, can you request this? And I go, yeah, but like when you put the offer in, doesn't your buyer want all this stuff? Like it says proper review of condo docs. Like
Yeah, no one looks anymore.
who's
man.
reviewing it? I actually had a client who was very upset with me that I didn't get all the meeting minutes, and I go, well, no one asked me for them. They were like, well, isn't that your job? And I said, well, technically. My
It's a realtor's job to get you.
technically, my job is just to make sure the seller owns the property and property transfers to you. Now, I understand we like to offer a way better, more comprehensive service. I think the industry in Massachusetts, that is a standard to offer more than that. But I sell condos all the time that have no meeting minutes.
It's very common.
I sell some that have monthly meeting minutes. I have some that just have once a year. So, like, you have to ask the questions, and then I will go and dig, and then I'll answer. People go, Nick, did you look at the financials? And I'll go, no, I don't look at financials because we all have different understandings. Now,
Realtor's job.
If you ask me questions, I will tell you, hey, it's a 3-unit association. It's been around for 5 years. The mortgage standard, and I still think you should go talk to your lender about this, but is to have 10% of the annual budget in reserves. So, like, yeah, you have that. We met that standard. But, like, are you comfortable as that being the only reserve?
Yeah.
What's the condition of the property? Because if it's brand new, do we really care about the reserves? You're going to live here for 5 years. If it's a dilapidated property and there are no reserves, we know the roof's going to be done, regardless if there's an assessment or not, like that's something you should be able to understand. I don't see these properties.
Right. We always just look for what's in the bank account and if they're contributing to a reserve. And I think those are the two big owner occupancy, obviously a big thing. But yeah, I think that's all the realtor's job.
But it's tough when it's just like, I want to do everything for you, but it's like, one, I'm not charging you for that. I'm not saying you didn't pay me enough.
Right.
I'm not charging you for that.
Right.
Like there's not a like that's a full comprehensive analysis. Like I have people all the time like they want to know their tax liability. I'm like, well, I would love to tell you that. I can kind of give you my back of the napkin math that I know from my dealings, but like talk to your accountant. Yeah. And most of the time they don't want to because they're gonna get a bill.
Right. I know we've covered a lot of bad deals already today, but all right. My real estate agent committed mortgage fraud.
I love how people
closed Friday.
I'm gonna let you read this, but like I love how people all
how
of a
is it
sudden
the
are
realtor?
Experts. They're all experts though.
How is it the realtor though? They didn't sign anything.
Everyone's like mortgage. It's like, oh, they did. Okay, let us decide. We're the jury now.
I think there's a lot of fraud in real estate still. What do you think?
Well, I think what's your definition of fraud? People that
I'll let you disclose.
People that do things that they know are skirting the rules, but I also think our rules are a little iffy.
Skirtable. Yeah.
Well, so like we have like RESPA, right? Like you're not supposed to do quid pro quo things, but like they consider quid pro quo like you and I being friends and me like, buying you like the lunch like that I don't eat with you because we didn't do like an educational thing. So it's like if I was just like sent lunch to the office and I wasn't there, like I technically think that's a RESPA violation. It's like, well, that doesn't like if you actually looked into our relationship, you'd be like, well, they're friends outside of work, or like Nick got stuck in traffic, or like the city of Boston didn't plow and like you couldn't find a parking spot.
No
like,
space savers.
There's a lot of things that can happen here that like yes, you're skirting the rules and you might be not in line, but is it skirtable?
Skirtable.
It might be skirtable.
That would be a good T-shirt. Skirtable. Need a sanity check here, it says. This is from a home seller. I'm a disabled vet forced to sell my VA loan house as a result of a divorce settlement. Accepted an offer on the house with a signed addendum to the purchase contract that the buyers would allow a 60-day holdover agreement, allowing me to stay in the home through the dead of winter before moving to a plot of land to build using another VA loan.
Already way too many details from this guy that we know he's not telling the truth.
Dependent on the sale of the other home.
The screams feel bad for me.
My foreshadowing here is like there's a use and occupancy issue that comes up here. Because that's what the holdover agreement is. The buyers also had no plans to move in until spring, as conditions are dangerously frigid.
60-day owner-occupied. Yeah. That's what we're getting here.
The agreed terms of the negotiating were carrying the cost of the mortgage, principal, and interest times, for 2 months.
Yep, so far we're good. Yep.
Yeah, so there's no problem with this so far. Like, this is a very classic scenario.
Especially in Massachusetts.
Yeah, any home buyer, when they close on a primary residence style mortgage, has to express the intent to move in and occupy the property as the primary residence within 60 days.
Yeah, the federal government basically is like, we need to figure out what's in between a primary and secondary residence, and they threw something on a dartboard in 60 days. Seems like
you got to move in within 60 days. So a lot of the times, especially in a really competitive real estate market like here in Boston, we have people who sell their house, sell it to another primary occupant, but there's a holdover period, a lease back, a use and occupancy, all these interchangeable terms. And that's usually primarily given to help simultaneous closings go better. No one wants to be idling in the moving truck.
We get a lot of new construction houses aren't built yet.
So there's a lot of moving parts there. So I sell, I get all my money, but I stay back. My move's easier. I piddle, I hire the mover, whatever. I'm ready to go. We also do this a lot when people are selling and buying at the same time. It's easier to put the house up for sale, find out what it's going to sell for, potentially get all the money earlier, and then give that seller a lease back. Especially in a competitive market, they end up being a better buyer if it's sold already. So I'm interested to see where this one goes, because it sounds like and oh, by the way, fun fact about this story is you can't have two VA loans or FHA loans at the same time.
Correct.
Right? You can go from one to the other same day. There is a release that will happen specifically for on a federal ID, of the loan or the borrower. And so that's why he's saying the VA loan is probably a detail here, because
I actually thought it was going to start off where they were VA loans are assumable, very difficult to do, but I thought that was the route they were going down.
FHA too, I believe. Yeah,
I thought that was the route they were going down.
Yeah,
it sounds like no.
All right, so I anticipated some potential bloat on the expenses, but 1 week before closing, the buyer's lawyer presented a rental cost of $3,700 a month with no utilities and full responsibility of home maintenance liabilities, roof, HVAC, electrical, septic, etc. I balked 1 week before closing. So the plan was to have the agreed terms of the negotiation, it says, is we were going to pay the new buyer's principal and interest, which was $2,048 a month. And now 1 week before closing, probably in some settlement conversation maybe, or maybe they never actually got to a use and occupancy contract. I don't know yet. The anticipated, I anticipated the numbers would change, they're saying, but 1 week before closing, the buyer's lawyer presented a rental cost of $3,700 with no utilities included and full responsibility of the home. This sounds a little aggressive. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think you have to talk about that stuff because, again, like we have things in Boston where it's like, oh, I'm buying it. I live in the house for 50 years. I'm buying it with a 6.5% interest rate on $1 million loan. And people are like, whoa, I only pay $1,500. Why do I have to pay? Well, it's like, well, you're not paying what you have. You're paying what is out of their pocket. But then I also have deals where I'm like, are you sure you want to allow them to live there for 30 days for free? And they're like, yep, I need this house in Lexington. And that's what they do. So it's fully negotiable. You would think that these terms would have been at least in an email conversation where like the numbers may have not been solidified, but what you're paying for was solidified.
We've talked about this a lot because it was funny in like the really competitive COVID days, we would write offers way more vague. Hey, we'll figure this out later.
Open,
yeah. But then like, hit them with the hammer during the PNS time. Like, no, we don't want to do that. And we're too far along,
Sure.
We're about ready
Tactful.
to do the PNS. Yeah. It was obviously a strategy and I've stopped doing that. And I'm negotiating in the offer what the security deposit should be because I don't want my client to have a $10,000 holdback for no reason. When you gave this to us because we asked and we chose your offer because of it, you can't just hit us with the financial hammer right after the fact. So, so I balked at this and I called my realtor and she said she thought she had sent it to me weeks ago and that was just the market price. I said the most I could afford is probably $2,400 and she said, well, she could pitch in $1,000 after closing to make things easier. I said, no, you can go back and land close to the purchase and interest, principal and interest. Okay, cool story. Then she called late in the evening and left a voicemail saying she just talked to the buyer's realtor and she said she'd pitch in $400 and I would pitch in $1,600 and then Venmo me $2,000 after closing if I just signed the holdover agreement. It feels shitty, and sketchy. Do I take it and close or wait until the holdover agreement is accurate? Or do I report my agent for colluding to get to the deal over the finish line by signing an agreement that was negotiated behind my back and thrown upon me at the final hour? Isn't this a RESPA violation? It says, like, I don't know the answer to the last question. I just thought that was funny.
What you're gonna sign in your closing disclosure is basically like, hey, all the money in this transaction was on this document. There was no, I always make a joke, like, you didn't have to give the seller a bag of money or anything. Like this is what's happening.
That definitely still happens, by the way.
It's supposed to all be up and up, right? Like, everyone knows what was paid, what's here, what it's for. The reason why, like, people are like, I'm getting a $75,000 credit. I'm like, no, you're not. Like, you can't make money on this deal. You're getting a mortgage based off of 90%, valuation rate. Like, you can't just go, oh, my loan to value, like, we're going to throw that out the window. So people forget that, like, the mortgage collapse happened for a reason, not because of these one-off deals, but that type of being flippant about money and where it's coming from and who's paying for it, and then getting loans based off these things.
So the RESPA violation would be sharing in extra monies or whatever. It's interesting. This happens a lot because, like, you get to an impasse. Like, we just literally had this with a closing where completely different.
Well, what should happen is, hey, we're going to reduce your commission, seller. So instead of owing $10,000, you owe $8,000.
Right.
Now you have $2,000 in your pocket. Right. And you're going to use that $2,000 for.
So this is exactly what I was going to say. Sometimes that's hard to do because at the end of the day, that's not the agent's call.
Sometimes, yes.
So what the agent's saying is, I'll fix it with my share.
Correct.
But it's not their call.
Correct.
And it's sometimes, think about how we started the conversation earlier where Caldwell Banker refused to let this person out of a contract. Yeah. You have someone who refused to let someone out of a contract, enforced it even though they didn't do anything yet. Like, it's hard to get the bigger brokerages specifically to try and bend. And so often they're not interested in reducing their commission. They're do what they're due. And if that you know, if it's going to come out of the agent's pocket, so be it. So it's interesting because sometimes the agent can't make that call, but they want to make that call. That's why they're probably skirting around.
Which again, I think this is skirtable. Like you know, like I think it's okay. And the reason I think it's okay is because like if you had to tell 12 people this story, it's like, got it. Okay.
Yeah,
she didn't have the money right away. She was going to give it to you after the closing. It was going to happen this way. Like,
yeah.
Yes. I think if she was trying to induce him and going, hey, pay this, and then I'll try to work it in the back end. I'll try to get you money back. Like basically being nefarious to get the deal to close to get her commission. Doesn't sound like that's what she's doing here. She's trying to make the numbers work in the cleanest way possible.
Yeah, it sounds to me what actually happened is the carrying cost on the mortgage being $2,048 a month was probably his mortgage, like you said, and not this new one. This new one being so much higher at a higher price, at a higher interest rate is way more. And so naturally, if you're going to stay back in this property for 60 days,
you're like, I'm living in the same property and paying more. That makes no sense.
Right. So you panic about it. And at the same time, the buyer who just bought it doesn't want to just not get paid. They're going to have to pay this freaking mortgage.
Correct. The mortgage still due.
So that's why it's better to talk about these things in the offer and get it clear, which is what we've been doing. In a really competitive scenario, I've even like attached in like MLS attachments, hey, we'd like a use in occupancy or a lease back.
Awesome.
Here are the terms that we're willing to agree to. Please sign here and make this subject to your offer.
I get some new construction reservations that's like name and unit and then price. It's like, that's it. So it's like, I'm like, okay, Seth Williams is paying $800,000 for unit 6. And then I talk to you and then I get a P&S with nothing in it. Right. And you're like, oh, I need a mortgage. I need a inspection. I need a that. And I'm like, well, wait, there was no place to put it in the reservation. So now, like you said, we're doing this negotiation and attorneys that seller attorney knows I'm selling this unit to someone. Like, he has no real skin in the game to like help us out.
Yeah.
And for me, like, you're buying something and you're going to be mad at me if I don't negotiate hard for you.
Yeah.
So like, I have to be a little pushy and stern. And what does that do? Just kicks out contracts.
Yeah.
Now, everyone's like, why can't this come together? It's because the best time to negotiate was during that offer, that reservation.
Yeah. So riddle me this. Why are we doing reservation paperwork? Why can't we just write a freaking offer to purchase a new construction unit?
Because people feel that they can, again, get into that gray area and negotiate more differently. I mean, in general, if you
who's negotiating? The seller?
The seller, yeah.
Because the seller is the one. Like I've had plenty of people. Of course, they don't put this in the freaking MLS either. So we waste our time writing an actual offer out, and they say, "Hey, thanks. Put it on this reservation form," and then we fill out the reservation form, which is another freaking stupid offer. Is that thing enforceable? Is there any LexisNexis on that one?
So I'm sure that you would say, like, you know, this was the contract prior to purchase and sale. It represented or resembled a Massachusetts offer to purchase. The brokers understood it to be an offer to purchase.
They took a deposit.
It was presented as an offer to all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But I think being so vague, you have to pick and choose your battles.
Yeah.
Because you can lose as much as you think you can win.
Yeah. I just hate it. I wish that people didn't do it. Let me finish this one thought here. So, I got to be honest with you. I think this is just probably some bad explanation. I don't think I would call this mortgage fraud in any way. At the end of the day, I don't like throwing in money as the realtor to get a deal done, because the reality is they did what you wanted, was the 60-day holdover agreement. I think maybe where like the where the confusion is and the mortgage fraud is, like, maybe they didn't actually intend to occupy within 60 days.
That's where I thought they were going.
Yeah, I did too.
But I think what the agent should have done or could have done is, hey, like, you're staying here for 60 days. Like, there's a benefit here to you over and above what you're paying. But let's go look for an Airbnb for 60 days. Like, let's compare the prices. Let's figure out what our other options here are. Because the big win for you was the 60 days. You don't have the opportunity to move into your new house. So, like, you need a place to live. There's some convenience cost there too.
There's so many people in here that are like, this is fraud.
Oh, of course.
Like, no, this is every real estate transaction.
Well, they don't do deals, that's why.
There's some back and forth for sure. But listen, I think I brought this up to the team recently. I think we've been all programmed that, like, buyers need to just do whatever the seller wants for a long time. And I think it is very important that, like, when you're working as a buyer's agent, you actually just stand up for your buyer client. That could be, we talked about this, like renegotiating an inspection, like whatever it is, like it's less about deal resistance and more about making sure your client's feeling good right now. So if I was in this seller's shoes, I mean, ultimately, as the realtor, like I get that there's a misunderstanding. It's one thing if it either A, wasn't clearly explained to the seller, and they like truthfully misunderstood what it was. If there's nothing signed, I think that's a very easy, hey, like, listen, he understood this as X. I explained it properly. We're at an impasse. He needs this, and that's it.
Sure.
Don't buy it, or like, we don't need the use. And I don't know what it is. That's option one. And I'm going to guess they probably would have came to a pretty positive resolution with it. Or two, which is more probable, the agent agreed to it, not understanding what the seller thought.
Sell it, yeah.
Yeah, and then had to backpedal,
Sure.
which is why they were willing to throw in. So I wouldn't call it fraud. I would definitely say that they screwed up. And listen, if you do screw up as an agent, I think you should own it and make it financially right, for sure.
No, I agree.
All right, what's our time there, Mr. Nick?
1 hour and 22 minutes.
Wow, we are just burning the midnight oil right now. All right, so let's wrap because it's already past 2.
Okay. What do we have?
We have underrated, overrated.
How we can do that quick?
Yeah. All right, you ready?
Got it. Rapid fire.
I have a few recent underrated, overrated. First off, are you excited for Cliff House tomorrow?
Extremely excited for Cliff House.
I hope
And
you really
Cliff
enjoy
House,
it.
Like the beautiful institution they
They
are.
called you.
Sent me had not called me. Maybe
Text
called
you?
me. Haven't checked. Sent me a great email, and I have 2 seats to their dueling pianos at 8:30 on Friday
where's
night.
that?
Somewhere in the building. You would probably know better than me.
It's probably in the main lobby.
Yeah, could be amazing.
Wow, that's pretty exciting.
I don't think there was even a cost associated with it. I
No,
think it
they're
was
just doing
a-
it. They're always doing live music in the lobby. Place freaking rocks,
Great,
dude.
great.
All right, so Nick's headed up to Cliff House, the World Traveler. Just got back from Stadium Series in Tampa.
Yep.
Barn burner of a hockey
It was
game,
a fun
by the
game.
way.
It was a fun game.
You'll be happy to know I didn't make it to the third period. Had to get the old kids to bed.
Well, it took a
And-
little bit longer. You know, the Tim McGraw singing in between periods.
Oh
is
my
really
God!
fun.
I know. I texted Nick in the middle of it. I said underrated, overrated. Tim McGraw, it's completely overrated. That guy's terrible. I truthfully couldn't name one song that I know is his.
Yeah, his barbecue stain shirt's a good
He's
one.
he's like Gavin. Well, I don't know that other bozo. That's like a country. There's a Gavin, right?
Yeah, I was no
Garrett, Gavin.
Gavin.
There's a country star, Gavin, isn't it?
I don't think so. I think like there's like Gavin DeGraw, like
Yeah.
he's like an old
They're like the same
he's
person.
like a pop guy. Though.
No, they're the same person. I think I couldn't name one of that guy's songs. There's I don't know, barbecue on my t-shirt.
Yeah,
What did he
yeah,
say?
yeah.
Anyway, completely overrated. Also, I think I asked you this question. Then we can talk about the actual hockey game, which is a travesty. I didn't catch some of the third period action. I don't know what your mental status was at that time.
I was locked into the game.
Were you? Okay, then I have some questions. I have not caught any of the clips yet. So Tim McGraw, completely overrated. Yeah, okay. Outdoor hockey games, outdoor NHL hockey games.
I would. So there's 2 ways of viewing
Not your
it.
first one?
No, come on.
Oh my God.
So
Guys, hasn't missed one.
Went to the first one at Fenway.
Same, I was there.
Got amazing seats for a baseball game.
Dude, same.
Horrendous seats.
Right behind the plate.
I was right behind the dugout. Like,
So was I,
I
dude.
could have got autographs from every player coming out.
Imagine this. This is what, 15 years ago?
Maybe more.
And you and I were in the same section of
The
Fenway.
same poor section to watch a hockey game. Yes.
I
also
booked-
was Chara's head going around the board.
Couldn't see shit, dude.
So then I went to the last one and got amazing seats above third base in the Dell Putnam, whoever's paying
Putnam
for that
Place,
now.
yeah.
Yeah. Looking straight down, amazing. Look down the whole
Third
ice.
baseline.
At third
Dude,
base, facing right field.
Yeah,
like over second base, third to second base.
We have the
was amazing.
same exact seat adjustment.
It was amazing.
It's funny you say that. Gotta be up there.
And the second game was great. Jake DeBrusk scored. Like, it was awesome game.
Yeah.
Awesome game. And then
Did
I went to
we won with Sturm in overtime.
Yeah.
Game 1.
Yep.
I don't remember who won. the second one.
DeBrusk won with a goal in the third and won. I don't think it was overtime. I think it was just in the third.
And then
Versus
you went.
Pittsburgh,
And then
I
you
think.
went to Foxborough.
Went to horrendous.
Dude, it was so fucking cold.
And horrendous. New Year's Day. And then
So cold.
And then we had this one. So outdoor hockey games, underrated. Where they play them, overrated.
Interesting.
They should play in outdoor hockey rink. They should have one kind of like Williamsport, like Little League World Series. They should build an arena in a cool city that every hockey team can play at once a year, and they make it freaking awesome. And it is a hockey style venue that's open air. And it has everything that you would need to do like restaurants and all that stuff, and make it cool. But like, no, sitting next to the ice with no elevation,
not good.
and being able to see shoulders and
Yeah.
not the puck is horrendous.
Yeah. So you think they're underrated? That's interesting.
The game outside is awesome, and the guys say it's like pond hockey. It's great, but the viewing experience, like
It's
now I
terrible.
know where to get my seats,
Yeah.
but not knowing, like you can really screw yourself.
I think it's completely overrated. I've also been to all 3 Winter Classics for the Bruins. They were not fun.
But because of the viewing experience, like, or I like being outside, like watching hockey. I thought
Wasn't
it was
there a stadium series fairly recently at Fenway too, or is it just the Winter Classic again?
cool. I thought it was just the Winter Classic.
I think there was a Winter Classic again after Foxborough.
Correct. Yeah, it was another Winter
that's
Classic.
the one,
That was,
DeBrusque.
I think it was Pittsburgh Bruins, and DeBrusque scored in the
I
third.
went, and I left early.
Ooh, I went to Capitol Grill.
We went
afterwards. It was
on a pub crawl instead.
great. Okay.
I pub crawled my way in and out.
That
of
sounds
there.
like a good day.
At-
Sounds like outdoor hockey did something for you.
Yeah, it was a good day. It was a good day. So I guess that one was better than the first, but the Foxborough one, completely terrible. I think that it's actually hilarious in comparison to see the scale of the rink versus some of the scales of the baseball fields.
People forget that in between the first row of a football stadium and the boards, it's 50 yards away.
Yeah.
So like it's way too far to see anything.
Yeah, I
you
agree.
have to be up and high.
Yeah, and I just think I don't want to be out there for that long. I don't even want to go to a football game, I think, when it's cold outside.
I will say, sitting down for in my older age here, I'm getting some blood flow issues to my toes. Those go numb extremely quick, so I got to figure that out.
You got to get some of those hot hands.
Yeah, I got to figure that out.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Canada Goose. I don't know if they make socks yet, but the jackets are phenomenal. But
yeah.
we got to figure that out.
Yeah, just the viewing experience, the stadium experience, just overall completely overrated for me.
It's okay. But I think the venues can be difficult. But I like the idea.
Well, I
of
haven't
outdoor
found a
hockey.
good one.
We're going to build one.
We're gonna build it.
We're going to build one.
We'll build it, and they will come.
Every little league team got kids crying.
You know where it should be? It should be in Hawaii. Sounds difficult.
Well, I mean, now
No,
we're
you
taking
can't
away
have it in like a continental state where someone doesn't have a hockey team and try and parade people into the Northeast and say it's, oh, you guys get to play here. Well, maybe it needs to be in Ireland. Dude, you know where it could be? Greenland.
We make the whole
Nailed it.
country outdoor hockey event.
Nailed
Done.
it.
Okay,
Greenland, full
I'm in.
circle.
I'm in.
NHL 2030 Stadium Series in Greenland.
The United
Greenland,
States.
United
The
States. Yeah.
Don't bring your passport.
The 52nd state, you said,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah, don't even need to bring your passport. Yeah. Okay. Choose wisely on this one. Choose wisely. We're coming up on it. Valentine's Day.
Just another L for the guys out there. Now, in theory, we get married, and as couples, we split the workload. However, it feels like anniversaries, Christmas, Valentine's Days are what did he get you? I rarely have my buddies are like, did you get the shoes you wanted or the jacket or did you get your car cleaned or anything like that? No, it's like what you get her is actually the question. So like Hallmark really has chopped us off at the knees. They've taken away all of our ability to be like, this is an equal opportunity holiday. I'm fine. Like I'll give you the Valentine's Day, just but let's call it not a couple's holiday. It's a woman's holiday. It's a guy to show women their love, or a male equivalent, whatever you are, in your gender profile. Hate to put people in boxes. But then like anniversaries, like I think that should be equal. And then birthdays, we kind of know who those are for. We got Mother's and Father's Day, but like Valentine's, I'll give it to you, but don't pretend that this I get anything out of this. This is another day for you ladies.
Yeah, listen, it definitely feels. So you're saying it's overrated?
I need another tier.
Nick Nardone's take, not my take. I'm just saying, Jen out there, it's not my take. We did have a little office talk about this in prep, as prepping the underrated, overrated. The general consensus, even from the women in the office, overrated. Just for the record.
Well, I also think too. I'm a big guy of like my, I another bad take you guys aren't gonna like. But like after the age of 21, if you really celebrate a birthday, like I kind of have a problem with that. Like it's
30. 40.
I'm not talking about going out to dinner with your friends. That's great to get together. But like when you're ballooning it, blowing out candles in front of people with pictures, like I think we could probably use our efforts towards better things. Solve cancer or world hunger or something. But so I'm not a big like go out on my birthday.
Yeah.
But Valentine's Day, that could be a random Tuesday. And people are like, we got to go out on Valentine's Day. Why can't we celebrate the next Friday, the next Saturday, the Sunday before? And like, I don't
Can't
think
get a res anywhere.
Yes, I don't. And then you get in the prefix menu. So I actually have a beautiful Valentine's Day planned. My brother-in-law is getting married, and the bridal shower, I think that's what you call it, is on Saturday. My wife's bringing my daughter. I'm going to bring my son in. My mother-in-law is going to bring the kids back to the house. We're going to stay in the city, have dinner that night, then having the whole family come in to have brunch the next day.
Where's brunch at?
Fairmont, the Oaklawn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nick's living large, dude.
It's gonna be a nice brunch. And
Can you adopt me?
Yeah, I can bring you into the fold.
Wait till the PJ though.
So, like for me, like that's something cool that's planned. But I called these 3 places. And
Poor producer Nick wants to just live in the cardboard box your Christmas tree came in.
and it came on a pallet. Actually, that was like this insane. Like that was a large freight delivery. But every restaurant I called, well, we have a $250 prefix menu. And I'm like, why can't I just? You got a chef back there. It's a Saturday night. You got the guys. Run them in the line. Let me order off the menu. Put 2 specials on there that look appetizing, and just let me do it. Come on. Do not change what's been working for 364 days. We're now switching it up because Hallmark said, hey, you got to write these cards out and do all of that. It's insane.
The prefix menu is dumb.
Optional, fine. Like if you're like, I'm not like, I play the odds in the prefix menu. If there's a 7-course prefix menu, there's no freaking way I like all 7 things. There's no way. Just odds, right? Like I'm not picking 7 perfect things. This guy, he's not coming out to me like, hey, Nick, like, what do you like? What's your feeling on this? No, they're putting it out there. And he's trying to make everyone happy. So I'm usually not a prefix guy.
Yeah. Omakase, though.
Well, yeah, sushi, I don't even know. I just like close my eyes, put it in my mouth, and usually it tastes good. Don't clip that, Nick.
Omakase, in my opinion, completely underrated. If you don't know what
But they're
omakase
talking
is,
to you through it a little bit, no?
yeah, it is a true experience.
But he's saying, hey, Seth, what are you into? What are you feeling like? Heavy,
Oh
light?
no,
Like,
I don't think they care.
oh, okay. Because I thought like when you let the chef take control.
You've done omakase, yeah?
Yeah, but it was like not. I don't think like the right way. It was probably like $150 like a sushi thing.
Yeah, it's dope.
But like it was great. But
They're bringing out frozen spoons with salmon eggs on it
Yeah.
or whatever, and you have to sniff it first with like this orange peel. I don't know. I just find like it's that stuff that like, let's agree, I would just never even pick off the menu.
Sure.
So I like something like that. I would like to do more menus like that where it's just like chef's choice.
So I have a great little hack for you. You know,
let's hear it.
kids sound sleeper. Like, can you have people over with the kids sleeping?
Yeah, for sure.
So you put the kids down. I have a buddy who owns a restaurant in Cambridge. He usually cannot make it, but usually one of his chefs or chef buddies is off. You book it a few months out.
Wow.
You have them come to the house. You tell them a little bit about what you want for a menu. Invite some people over. You get to be in the house. They're cooking. Usually they're really nice guys. I've only had guys. Interactive, come over. They bring a sous chef. They'll open a bottle of wine. You share wine with them. They'll bring people over, show you what they're cooking. They serve you 3 or 4 courses. They clean up. The kitchen looks cleaner than when you started.
Dude.
And they go home. It's awesome.
I want to just be in
It's
Nick's,
awesome. It's
I
very
want to be
simple.
in
I will get this for you. This is great.
Nick's shoes for just 7 days.
You'll love it. It's a great experience. It feels like you went out. No driving.
That sounds amazing.
It's really good.
That sounds amazing. Specifically, the best part of that, they clean the kitchen.
These guys
Probably are cleaning the hood like it's the
they
commercial.
Clean. They like steam. Again,
Stop it.
It's cleaner than when it comes out.
They probably do. They clean it first too because they think you're a filthy.
It looked amazing. Like I legitimately, I was like, you guys just clean the house once.
Sounds inexpensive.
Wasn't overly. It's not as expensive as you would think.
No, it's probably just a little bit of a premium over a restaurant.
It might even be like the same price.
Cost. Yeah,
Because,
I believe it.
because they kind of give you a number. Like maybe you tip them a little bit more because usually again they're really interactive. But they're there for 3 hours. It's not like this long.
Yeah,
thing.
that's great.
And they come with like their stuff.
Yeah.
Like they open up coolers and like they already pre-did their stuff. So
I
like
love that.
They're not like sous vide stuff.
I'm gonna
like,
need
it's
that.
already ready.
I'm gonna need that contact.
Done.
They don't just stop at Mickey D's on the way, dude. Grab some
A
nuggets.
deconstructed nugget.
Yeah. I want to make my own chicken nuggets. I bet you that's pretty easy.
I think I've seen it. I think it's pretty. I don't think it tastes like McDonald's, but
I bet you I could get it close.
okay.
I'll report back.
love
I'll report back. You go to the Super Bowl.
Love to hear.
I'll fucking I'll make chicken nuggets out of the dollar thighs that are about to, turn into bacterial infections. And we'll compare notes.
We'll see how the weekend goes.
Next time.
We'll see how the weekend goes.
First Super Bowl? No.
No, I went to the last one they won. So I'm 1-0.
Wow. Which was
Atlanta.
Wow. You were at the Atlanta game?
Atlanta.
Oh, jeez.
It was in Atlanta, not the Atlanta Super Bowl. Last one they won was versus the Rams. It was
Oh yeah, boring game.
13-3 or 16-3 or something.
Snooze fest.
It was a snooze fest. But you're on your seat because like one touchdown changed the game. So
changes the
very
game.
engaging. Maroon 5 halftime show.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, you really watch it.
Are you excited for the Grammy?
Bad Bunny, I think, is an extremely talented individual. I'm not sure that. I'm hoping.
You're more of a Tim McGraw guy.
No, I might have said this, but I thought Lady Gaga did a great job. I thought Prince nailed it. Should have played every year. But I hope he brings out guests that kind of enhance the songs, bring it to different markets. Like he inevitably the charts show like where his demographic is, and he's great. I hope he makes it where it's like good for everyone. Like I think like most Super Bowls should be good for a majority of the country, not just a specific demographic.
The best Super Bowl halftime show recently was last year.
I didn't love Kendrick Lamar.
Wow, really?
No,
I thought it was great.
I thought
All the breakdowns of it after the fact was just.
I thought
like,
thought the breakdowns and the small stuff was good, but while it was going on, I was like, eh. The one who does he diss?
Drake.
Drake, yeah, the one Drake.
Who does he diss?
The one Drake diss I thought was like pretty good and funny, but yeah, I felt like again, like I think like Lady Gaga was great. I thought Bruno Mars was great. Like these people just sing pop songs. Everyone knows the words. They put on a good visual entertainment. They brought in some special guests. I thought that was good.
You break down things just really well, let me tell you. All right, so going to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Being there live.
Yep.
Underrated or overrated?
Your team's playing underrated. Just being there overrated.
Hot take. All right, we'll wrap with this. What's the prediction for the bowl? We coming out with the dub?
I think it's gonna higher scoring than we've had. I think we're gonna put some points up. I think the defense is gonna come to play. I think we're gonna see us being up 24-17. Seattle drives and we stop them for the win.
Wow. Hot take. Too bad we won't get this next spin slacking and this podcast won't drop until fiscal April. So
that's what I hope. Seattle looks very, very good, but Sam Darnold, he sees ghosts when he plays us. So
yeah,
that's what I'm hoping for.
Plus, yeah, there's nobody left on that roster. Is there just one person on that roster that we beat last time? I think it's a whole new team.
Oh,
isn't
yeah,
it?
whole new team.
Yeah. So it shows how much I'm paying attention
Whole
to
new
sports.
team. Yeah, no.
To the late sports.
We'll
You worried about Drake's shoulder?
no, not at all.
All right, man.
He's young. It's like Gumby out there.
He is, yeah. All right, we'll call that a wrap. Go
Awesome.
Pats,
Go
and
Pats.
We'll catch you on the flip.
Sounds good. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the Bad Deals Only podcast. If you like this content, share it with a friend or a family member or somebody in the industry, and subscribe and share.